Hello, my friends. Welcome to day 5 of our crafty spring break together. And we are going to end on a bang. First of all, I'm going to wrap up what we've touched on so far, and then we have 2 projects to share with you that are going to end with some pretty craziness. I hope you love them. They are a little bit intricate. And if you are ready to put your brain to a test and to make some things that you're going to love and share with others, then you are in the right place. So I'm just going to show you really quick. We had day 1 with the faux suede. So each day, so if you joined in the Crafty Spring Break, we gave you a technique card each day. And the tutorial guide to follow along with us with measurements and so forth. Obviously, you can watch along here with us as well and have the videos to help you to put everything together. We also offered a packet for some of you that had the paper, the cardstock, the ribbons, the embellishments, and then it also included the tutorials and the technique cards. But for everybody else, let's just watch and have fun. If you missed out on the tutorial, you have until Monday to order it. It's $25 and you get all, I think it's like 27, 28 pages long. And you also get the technique cards with that, or you can get it for free with your online order of at least $50. And that deadline is Monday. All right, let's jump in. So the first day, day 1, we had the faux suede technique. And our 2 projects, every day 2 projects. We had a flip flap card, sharing that faux suede. You just have to touch it. If you haven't made it, you don't know what we're talking about, but it is so soft. It feels like suede. So a fun flip flap card using the timeless plaid as well. And then this adorable simple box using the everyday arches. You can make it into like a little Easter box. Lots of fun things. So that's day 1. Day 2, we went with the Ocean Friends, kind of a maritime look. I loved it. This was designed by my friend Erica Serwin, and she taught us the whitewash water technique and totally blew me away. And also the faux shiplap technique as well. A little bit of splattering, and then this adorable box. So that was day 2. If you've missed any of the days, you can go back and watch them. They are all still available on YouTube and on Facebook. Day 3 was the emboss resist technique from my friend Ange McKay, who taught us that one. And you can see I learned this tech. This is only one I had done, but seeing it with the lobsters and the crabs made me super happy. And then she made this hexagon holder, which I had not ever seen before, and I cannot wait to make it with all of our sizes of hexagons. So we taught you how to make that. This one I made with a little Easter bunny popping out. Day 4 really took me by surprise how much I loved day 4. Day 4 was the bokeh technique. And the bokeh, I learned, means looking through a camera lens, which that's kind of the look that it gives you in the background there. Just a little shades of white. But we also use the watercolor paper. This card, I might just sit and stare at. I may never even send it to anybody. It's so pretty and so fun with the lobster popping out. But the background that we learned was gorgeous. And then I had never made this before either. And I can't wait to use it all throughout the years with maybe for an invitation. Popping out, we used seeds. This was designed by my friend Judy Tuttle. And it is a pouch, very sturdy pouch, by the way. It's not a flimsy one, very sturdy with a pull out. So you can make it as an invitation. It could hold a gift inside. We put a little seed packet in there because we use that year of flowers. But I can't wait to make it in the winter and put a snowman, a little hot cocoa packet in there. This is day 4. Okay, are you ready? Day 5. Day 5, you're going to have to put your thinking cap on. And the technique we're using is the inking embossing folders, which is a very simple, useful technique. So we're going to be using that one. But we are going to start off with the card. So I'm going to tell you the measurements. You have your tutorial. if you got the original tutorials, we have changed the measurements. So we're going to make sure you have a current updated version of the tutorial. So as of this Friday, March 27th, I believe, we will email out the current one. We're using a Google Docs form, so we'll update it and you can make sure you have the correct measurements. We're going to start off with the card first and foremost. So these were designed by my friend Lisa Bauer. I love Lisa. She's one of my favorite people. I'll tell you one thing though about her. Her brain she's so smart. She's so smart. And she loves to test my brain. So she's putting all of our brains a little bit to a test. So we're going to go ahead and jump into her projects, and I hope you love them. They are exceptional. They are incredible. And so just make sure that you are following along. The video is going to be very, very important. All right, so we're going to start off with, and I did most of this ahead of time. So this first step is we're going to start off with a card, and then our second project, if you want to, is going to be this little mini album. So this is the second project. It's this little mini album, which is obviously great for a spring break trip. And we're going to open it, and it's going to have, look, all these beautiful pages. There's some little fun little pockets inside where you can tuck in a little photo. But this is a fun little gift if you want to give to somebody, just to capture some of your moments from a spring break trip or any trip whatsoever, or just like a dance recital, any fun little thing. So here is this little mini album. We're going to make this next. But first, let's start with a card. So we're using the Berry Burst, and I did go through and do these for you. So there are these 3 panels. In your instructions, I'm going to, the biggest panel, the Berry Burst is 5.5 by 4.25. The Lemon Lime Twist is then 5.25 by 4. And this piece of Designer Series paper at the top, any of the Ocean Friends, is 1.75 by 4. Then we have the next panel that is going to be the Berry Burst. This piece here is 4.75 by 3.75. And the Lemon Lime Twist is 4.5 by 3.5. And then the Ocean Friends is going to be 4.25 by 3.25. So you can see how that layers nicely. This panel here. And the measurements are all in, and we have, all of us have checked them and double checked them. They should be all correct. So this Berry Burst piece here is 3.5 by 3.25. Lemon Lime is 3.25 by 3.5. And the Designer Series paper is 3 by 3.25. And then lastly, we have this piece here. That is going to be our Berry Burst. That's 2.25 by 3.75. Lemon Lime Twist is 2 by 3.5. And then we have 1.75 by 3.25. All right, so that's going to be our panels. This fun pop-out card, though, is going to, we need these little mechanisms that are going to help us pop out and make this almost like a waterfall card a little bit. So we have 3 pieces of Berry Burst, and you can use any of the colors. If you got the actual spring break craft along, we did not give you enough Berry Burst cardstock. There was a little miscommunication, and so we have emailed you about that. So if you have any questions, you can let me know directly about that. But you can also use kind of any, obviously, Berry Burst, but for the mini album, you might have to use a different color, or we can get you some Berry Bursts too. All right, so the first piece here is 6.75 by 3.5. We're gonna score this. We have a lot, and we're gonna score this pretty similar for all of the pieces. Ready? We're gonna score it at a 1/2 inch. Get your scoring brain on. We're gonna do a 1/2 inch. So when I do the small measurements, I always kind of work this direction. A 1/2 inch, 1 inch, and 1.5. And then on the other side, so I just kind of flip it over, we are going to do it at 5.25, 5 3/4, and 6 1/4. Got to put our arm just out for that last one, and 6 1/4. Okay, so basically you have these little 3-inch, 1/2 inch measurements each side. So you could do half, 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 half if you want to. So now you're going to get some practice though. Ready? We're going on. So we have, so this is 6 3/4, and so are all of these too. So there's 3 different measurements, and some are smaller than the other ones. So this is 6 3/4 by 3 1/2, 6 3/4 by 2 1/2, 6 3/4 by 1 1/2. Okay, 3 1/2, 2 1/2, 1 1/2. But we're going to do the same score marks. So my brain is do 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch. And then do the same thing on the other side. 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, and 1/2 inch. And so then you're basically ended with this, right, on each side. This takes a little bit. Once you do make them a couple times, it starts to make a little bit more sense. And do that with the same thing on the other side. So you're going to do the 1/2 inch, 1 inch, 1 1/2. So there's three marks on all the sides. 1/2 inch, 1 inch, 1 1/2. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and fold along those lines. And now we just got to assemble and decorate. Okay. Just a little bit of prep work for a super fun, unique card. All right, so we're just gonna, here we go. All right, so let's go ahead and basically what's left is just to assemble. So we have our little mechanisms here, and then we have our panels here. So let's go ahead and start. I'm using Seal Plus to be able to put all of these together. Let's start with the smallest one. And this is going to get glued down, obviously, there to the bottom. So where did oh, here is my adhesive. Let's just put this down. And that's going to get laid right down there. All right, so these tabs here, put your adhesive on there. And then this is kind of our most background piece. So that's gonna get glued right down there. Actually, I think we have to start with, hold on, don't move that. That is gonna go down here. But this is our last one that we put down. So we have to do the other ones first. So the next one is going to be a little bit of our taller one here. Let's go ahead and glue that one down. Put these down on the front. All right, and the designer series paper that I used, I just used whatever, like I used all the varieties are so fun in there. Okay. So I put the panels on all of those. So they should now, so we're gonna start with this biggest one first, and that's gonna go on next, okay? And then we'll do the next one, and the next one, and then the last one. I almost jumped ahead there on you. Okay, so I'll put the glue on these panels here. Okay. And let's put this, I'm gonna center it. Okay. And then we're gonna do the next one. And oops, let's center that one. Okay. And that one goes on top of that one. You are gonna love the person you send this to, and they are gonna love you. Now here we go, here's our last one. See, I almost jumped ahead. Okay, this one, what's so fun about this one is look how it's the displays so cool. Can you see that? So there you go. Fun card. And when you mail it, you do mail it pretty flat. I do believe it will be extra postage though. So you want to make sure you get, I definitely want to use Seal Plus to put all that together. Last but not least, we are just going to decorate. I've got all the pieces here. If you're watching this on the last day, then you'll know. I love to use adhesive sheets with this one. If this is your first day, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. I love that you're here. And go back and watch all the other videos. We have 10 projects to share with you. So now we're just going to go ahead and decorate. I did put an adhesive sheet. When I use this one, I like to have an adhesive sheet because it's pretty detailed. So I put that on beforehand and ran this through. And this is going to go on the second panel. This is one of my favorite. Oops. Put that on there. Let's put that, my Seal Plus, didn't want to hold there. So we have that one. On this front one, we're going to put a few of these little seaweedy pieces. And we'll, come on. A few of the little seaweedy pieces, and they're going to come off here and here. And then we're going to take, I ran through the paper. One of the benefits of the paper is that you can run through, let's see here. Oh yeah. You can run through lobsters, crabs. You can do them in pumpkin pie, peach pie, melon mambo, pretty in pink, all the pinks and all the oranges you can run through there. I'm going to take this guy or girl. It's pink, so let's call it a girl, and take some dimensionals and put that on here. You can decorate this as much or as little as you want to. I had some, where I ran this through, I actually had a bunch of those little starfish. But, oh, here they are. They actually already have the adhesive sheet on the back because I ran it through. Was just some extra pieces that I had of that. So, but getting this off on a video might be, oh, I did. So we're just going to add a few of the little starfish there on the front. Again, this may, the papers you choose will be totally up to you. And last but not least, we have a little label here with the stylish shapes. We're going to take the berry burst with a hello friend. Hello friend. So many friends I can think of to want to give this to. And that's a little crooked, so let's try again. That's why we have two sides to every paper. As a part of your craft along, we focused on just a couple embellishments and a couple ribbons. So when you order the craft along, we included those. But if you're not, then you can use whatever ribbon you want to and whatever dots you want to. But we definitely chose our favorites that would match this really good. So up here at the top, we're going to glue down this hello friend. Glue down I always love covering up my mistakes. No one will ever see it. So it's gonna go down here at the top and it's gonna there. And last but not least, we'll add our ribbon. Okay, so there is your pop out card. I don't even know if it has a name. A pop out, definitely has a pop out, and it's like almost like a waterfall, pop out waterfall card. We can make up our own name for it. So if you can even see it, how cool it is. So here is the technique of the card. Okay, so here is the card. And you can still mail it. It will definitely take a little extra postage because it's pretty thick. But you could also hand it to them. They could just sit there and have it looking at them. So if you can see that. But on the back of the card, I want to show you the technique that Lisa chose and how to do it. So it's a very popular technique that you can use with a lot of different things. You're going to need your embossing folder, and we use the soft wave. So the name of the technique is inking embossing folders. So usually we just do whatever. It's cool that it gives you the impression, but you can also make the impression colored. So I'm taking the Summer Splash and just gonna go ahead and just ink up the embossing folder. So now you're gonna have to do a little bit of like cleanup, right? It's like some dishes afterwards. And then I'm gonna, she did in hers directions, just like the top half of it, because then you can write on the bottom half. You could also just do the whole thing and then just put a piece of paper. You're then going to take, I got it here. You need the full, can you see it? The full Stamp and Cut Emboss machine. This is one of the embossing folders. You need the regular platform, and then the gray one. So all of our like bigger, larger 3D ones, this is the folder that you will, or the folder and like the sandwich. Now, because look, I'm gonna have to see that shifted on me. There you go. Well, it's a little crooked. I'll have to clean that now too. I have to do some dishes. What I'm gonna do, because that's gonna bother me, is I'm just gonna take a piece of white paper, probably 3.5 by 4 3/4, and I'm going to cover that up. It just moved on me. But so when I cover that up, you can still see it. I'm gonna make it a little bit smaller. We'll do 3 1/4 by 4.5. There. And then we'll write our message on that. Just because that's not straight, but you still get the gist of it. See, now it looks cool. Because they kind of meant to do that. And this will go along the back. Okay, so there's our card. I hope you guys loved it. So fun. I'm sure you can imagine amazing things that you could also do with that as well. All right, so let's move on. Oh, and there are dots. You can sprinkle on your dots for days on that as well, just to make it all the better. I have dots for days somewhere. We'll see if I come across them. But next, we're going to move on to the next, is this mini album. So the measurements are in the tutorial. If you got the newer tutorial we just sent out, they are all good and updated. I'm going to be using Melon Mambo for mine, because to be honest, I don't have any Berry Burst cardstock either. So we're going to use Melon Mambo. And we're going to start off cutting 2 pieces at 6 by 6. So I'm going to cut 2 pieces at 6 by 6. These are going to be our inside pockets, okay? Listen, if I can do this, you guys can all do it too. And it's going to give you an awesome result at the end. Next, you need, so that's for the inside. And then you're going to need a 7 by 3. So we're going to do 3 by 7. Oh, and then you need one more piece. We're going to need what's called the we need a couple more pieces. This is just the cardstock. So we need, so far for the cardstock, let me put this away. I'm gonna lose this. Well, I'm not. This is kind of a big one, but I want to make sure I don't lose it. There you go. All right. So we need, for the pockets, we need 2 pieces at 6 by 6. For the cover, we need 7 by 3. And then now we need what's called the spine. And the spine, we're going to need 2 3/4 by 3. And we're going to keep on cutting just because we're here. Then there are 4 pockets. So 4 pockets, you need 2 7/8. Oh, these are all the same color. By 1 1/4. So we need 4 of these. We need 1, 2, 1 1/4, 1, 2, 3, and I think this one is right at 1 1/4. It's a little bit longer. 3, 4. So that's all the measurements for like the main cardstock that you have, that you've picked. So 4 of these. All right, now we have some scoring to do on all of them. On the 6x6 pieces, you're going to score them at 3 inches, and then 3 inches. While you have it here, you're going to cut down to that middle mark on just one of the sides. So it looks like this. Okay, actually, that's what you want it to look like. We're going to do that on both of them. Okay, whoop. Score at 3, score at 3, and then take the cutter and just cut down to that 3-inch mark. Okay. So these are actually going to be your pages, and I'm going to show you how to put them together. Don't jump ahead. All right, this is the outside of your book. This was your 7x3. You're going to score this. All these have to be scored. All to do, every piece. Score it at 3 and 4. This is pretty simple. This is the outside of your book, okay? Next we have, this is like your spine mechanism, I'd call it. This one, so this was your 2 3/4 by 3. I want to make sure I'm scoring it the right way. So you want to make sure that your 3-inch side is here. So you're scoring along the 2 3/4 inch side. You're going to score this at a quarter of an inch. So a quarter, 3/4, 1 1/4, 1 1/2. 2. So here's where I flip. I come over here now. 2 and 2 1/2. Okay. That, I know that seems a little crazy. You're just gonna fold along all of these. When it actually all comes together, I think it will make sense to you. Okay, so there's 4 panels that are actually, okay, here we go. It all came together. There are, let's see if you can tell. There are 1, 2, 3, 4 panels that are 1/2 inch wide. So wait, I'm not done scoring it, but I'll do these real quick. You are going to just glue together those 1/2 inch panels. I believe the directions, Lisa says that it's a valley, mountain, valley, mountain, valley, mountain. But here's the best way that I can tell you to describe it to you, is that this is what you want it to look like. So the two pieces that are 1/2 inches, they need to come together. So this is what you want your spine to look like. It will actually lay flat. It's going to eventually lay flat in here. See? So once you realize that, then that makes it kind of all make sense just a little bit too. All right. Now, so I told you we had to score every piece. So now these pieces here, we got to score at, I think it's a quarter. Let's see, the pockets, a 1/4 inch. So you got to just score this at a 1/4 inch. So these, you score it at 1 because they're 1 1/4. So do that for each one of those. Score each one. Can you see? Am I in the screen? Okay. Score each one. So all 4 of these at 1 inch. One more. One more. I think I'm going to put together the whole book, and then I'll show you how you can decorate it if you want to. I think the big part about this is just kind of learning how to put the whole book. These are just extra pieces together. Okay. These are our, make sure you got all of our pages. Now, what we also needed is 16. We do need 16 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. Those, I mean, they are just to decorate the pages. So, like that's all that they're for. And you do need 16. You'll have one for the front, one for the back. I literally there just did all, I picked some of my, I love this paper, which is super cool because you can just take any pattern and any pattern looks so good. Even here, like on this, there's a, you can take Coastal Cabana or, let's see. Yep, Coastal Cabana is for the spine. The spine actually is 7/8 by 2 7/8. So this is 2 7/8 by 7/8. Okay. Okay, and then, oops, wrong piece. This one. I actually think those fronts also had a layer in there. But we're going to do the spine. The spine's going to have that. And then you can grab one of your other pieces here for the spine. All right. My little sample one also had a little Coastal Cabana piece in there. I think those measurements are in the tutorial too. Okay, so right now we're focusing on the mechanism of putting these together. Okay, so when it comes to these inside pieces, this is what we want to do. So take the slit is at the top. We just want to kind of bring these together like that. Okay, so what you're going to do is then glue down these pieces here. You're going to do that to both of them. And then where's our little mechanism? First, okay, wait, I'm jumping ahead. Let's get our mechanism glued down. So our little mechanism here, this part should be flat, is going to get glued right down into this piece. Okay. It's like that. So now our pages, this is what our pages are going to, this is a spine. Our pages are going to get stuck to this. All right, so we're going to pull this together. Then these are going to come in, and these are all going to make our little flaps. So where these come together, in the directions, it definitely says to use a liquid glue. I can tell because you just want, Lisa definitely made like an extra little flap out of this. Okay. So you want to hold that together. The fold is here, and this is where we're going to glue. So I'll do it again. We'll do it again. So we're going to, the fold is down there, and we're going to pull this together. Then we're going to just glue right down, find the folds, and put in the glue just to kind of the opposite of that. And that glues together. Now here's a little trick that I don't know if it's in the tutorial or not, but these pages are gonna slide onto here. But what you have to do is on this spine, you have to trim off these edges like that. So go ahead and trim these off. So it looks like that, okay? Now, you can make sure these are all stuck together. I think they are pretty good. Okay, because this is where we're gonna slide this right into here. Look at that. Okay, so you can use liquid glue. I'm gonna use some tear tape. You use what best matches your personality. For me, I'm gonna take some tear tape. Tear tape on both these sides, and this is going to put those pages in. So as you're making this, you think, what awesome little event or vacation. Sometimes vacations, you don't want a whole big 12 by 12 album, but you just want to capture a little bit of it. Or you want to make a gift for somebody that's a little mini album. Then this is a really cool little album you can do that with. Okay, so pull off our tear tape. I'm going to do one side at a time. Come on. It's really not that hard. It's much harder on a video than it is in real life, I think. Oh, goodness gracious. There we go. Okay. So we had the fold at top, right? We glued down here. So right here is like this little, I don't know, it's still open. That is going to slide right in here. It's going to slide. When you use tear tape, it doesn't slide. You gotta slip it in there. There you go. And then it will stick. Okay, let's do it again. So, but you have to notch off those edges. Okay, so let's do the other, oh boy. Let's do the other side. And then this side. Don't be careful not to glue that down. Oh, jeez. Fighting with the backing. Still, I would choose that over trying to get glue all over my hands. All right. So then this one, same thing. This just slides in for our page. There you go. That one slid in nice and easy. Okay. Can you see how that all comes together? Next, there are pockets. You can put the pockets on ahead of time or after. I'm going to show you. I did them after. The directions, or if you watch somebody else, they might do them a little bit different. But now we just are going to go through and decorate the pages. You can add the pockets. You can choose not to add the pockets. I think that's kind of how detailed that you want to be with your album. But what the pockets are, let me show you real quick. You're going to glue down a piece of the paper. I'll do a little coordinating paper on the other side. Over here. And then on the pockets, I am going to use green glue for this too, because it's a very narrow 1/4 inch. Put there, and down the sides, and down this side. Then that's going to get glued right down here to the bottom. You could tuck that 1/4 inch in on that one fold if you want to. So, kind of a different variation. Now, I'm going to take just some of this paper over here. This is 3/4 by 2 3/4. And that's going to go right here. To create our pockets. Let me get a different piece. You can continue to decorate, but most importantly, you want to add your pictures, right? So your pictures are so important. Let's see what else we have. I'm going to put an orange piece next. Here. And you can put the pockets wherever you want to. Let's do this on the outside. Go. And then same thing, put a little bit of glue. The pockets are just a fun little interactive part of this album. just to add a place to maybe tuck in, like, I would think like a 2.5 by 2.5 picture could tuck in there. Or if you have like some journaling you want to tuck in there, so forth. Okay, I think you guys can figure out how to do the rest of the book. You just continue on that path. Lisa has, in the tutorial, Lisa showed examples. She actually like decorated the pages too. She added some coral. Like, there is lots of fun things you can continue to do to your pages. So you need 16 of those. I'm just going to very quickly finish off the actual of the album. As you can see, in your if you do the die cuts, we have there's a ring for the let me see, where is it? Oh, there, here we go. So there's a circle, the stitch shapes circle, and then you run the same circle, but you take out the middle of it. So this is in the berry burst, which will match the berry burst if you do the berry burst. We took a little crab there and decorated it. And then I also just took a piece of the coral. I loved how Lisa did that, where she didn't do the whole coral, but just a piece of the coral. So you also want to, I glued down that ribbon underneath my circle. So the next step is you're definitely going to want to glue down your ribbon. You can also glue it down in the back here as well if you want it to. And then you want to tie that off. So before you glue down your circle, you're going to want to tuck your ribbon underneath of there. Once you get your pictures in, this is going to be so sweet and a little bit thicker. So again, this is the one I already went through and added all the pages so you can see. And there's the pockets. I did that pockets that same way and just glued them down to the front pages there. All right, I hope you guys think this is fun and enjoy it and create these adorable little gifts that you can give to somebody. This will definitely make a difference to someone, especially when you put your own photos in there. I just want to thank you so much for being a part of our spring break craft along. And I hope that you enjoyed every day. Each day we were just a little bit different. Every day we had different techniques. We had some were, I had fun with the techniques. Some of them I didn't even know how much I would love them until I did them. We had ranging in all kinds of difficulty. They're all simple once you've got the measurements and watched the videos and you put them together. Thank you so much for being a part of this with me. Stay tuned. We obviously will do more craft alongs. And as you know, every Wednesday I'll come to you with a lunch break with Rhonda. And I'm looking forward to spending more crafty time with you. Thank you.